December, Lesson 4, Level Pre-2. Whoever left the light on downstairs should go and turn it off. It's a waste of electricity. What time should I arrive at your party? The party will kick off at 7. Just come whenever is convenient for you. That is my seat. Sorry, the woman at the door told me to sit wherever I wanted to. Jane did a good job on her science project. However, she still felt there was room for improvement. Andrew thought his mother had hid his present in her wardrobe, but when he looked, he found nothing but her clothes. What do you want for dinner? Anything but curry. I had curry for lunch today. According to the weather forecast, it will rain later in the day. You had better take an umbrella, just in case. Daisuke tried hard to convince his mother to let him go to the concert with his friends, but it was all in vain. She would not allow him to go out on a school night. What do you plan to do in Tokyo? Nothing in particular. Perhaps a little shopping and sightseeing. Since he studied European history in college, Paolo has a lot of knowledge about Italy and France, so he is keen to visit Europe. Opinions. Is traditional education better than homeschooling? I think traditional education is better than homeschooling. Children need to make friends and learn to get along with other people. Do kids need recess? I think kids need recess. It's hard to study for a long time. Also, it's important to exercise. Should children be allowed to use SNS? I don't think children should be allowed to use SNS because SNS is addictive for some people. Also, SNS might be dangerous for them. Are aliens real? I'm not 100% sure, but if the universe is infinite, then it's likely that there are aliens.
Do you think school classes should have fewer students?
Of course, there are too many students in my class, so it takes a long time to give out lunch.
Do you think children need more free time? I don't think so. Many children like doing after-school lessons and activities. Do we need to ban smartphones from classrooms? I think so. Smartphones are too distracting at school. Do you think Japan needs more foreign workers? I think Japan needs more foreign workers because we need more nurses and caregivers for the elderly. Do you think every student needs a computer? I think every student needs a computer since using computers is a necessary skill in the modern world. The cost of tourism. In many cities around the world, tourism brings money into the local economy, helping to create jobs and improving public facilities. However, sometimes a city attracts too many visitors. This is the situation now being faced by Amsterdam in the Netherlands, a city well known for its historic and cultural attractions. Amsterdam currently attracts about 18.5 million visitors a year, and this number is rising. City officials are concerned that the huge number of tourists is negatively affecting the lives of the 850,000 permanent residents of Amsterdam, putting pressure on public facilities. For instance, tour buses cause traffic jams in the city's old, narrow streets, and people must wait for hours to enter popular museums. Amsterdam's leaders also worry that tourism will become its only industry. This problem has already happened in Venice, Italy. In fact, most non-tourism jobs have already moved to other areas of Italy, and Venice now has more tourists than residents. While Amsterdam's leaders are looking for solutions to these problems, their options are limited. This is because Amsterdam depends so much on tourism that the city cannot survive without it. As a result, city officials are looking for ways to keep the current level of tourism while also reducing the stress that tourism creates. For instance, one idea is to decrease traffic by having tour buses stop at the edge of the city and making tourists travel into the centre on public transportation. By doing such things, Amsterdam may be able to keep the benefits of its tourism industry, but avoid many of the negative effects. Merry Christmas!